This video we're going to talk about more of the basics of HTML, including what tags are and how tags work within the HTML structure. So with HTML, in a previous video we had talked about how between the various lines, between the body, which are also tags, between the two body tags we've got content. And the content between the tags gets rendered out. What happens is when your browser comes to read HTML, it reads it from left to right. So it'll read this part first from top to bottom. So it'll go left to right and top to bottom. So basically it'll start reading out this content. It'll get to this particular tag, which is actually the title tag. And this is what shows up in the top of your website browser as being the title of that particular page. So here you could title it whatever you want to title it. And this is also considered a tag. So as we notice that it's got the same opening title without the closing bracket. And then after we've put in our content here, we've got the closing bracket for title, and then it closes up that particular tag. So here we've got the essentials of HTML, where we've got the opening HTML, the closing HTML, we've got the opening head, we've got the closing head. Here we've got a meta tag, which is not essential to operate within HTML, but it always is a good idea to put in the content type as HTML so the browser can understand what type of content you are writing. So it's not essential, as well as this part, the document type is not essential, but it is a good idea to always include it within your coding, within your HTML coding, in order for the browsers to better be able to interpret the content that you have on within your HTML. So here we've got the title, opening and closing, we've got the head, and then we've got body, opening and body closing. And everything in between here, this is what gets displayed within the HTML within your web page. So this is what gets rendered out from the content. And here we can have a series of different types of tags, all opening and closing. So if we wanted to have an essential paragraph tag, we could simply do a P, and we could put some content in there, and then we can close that up. And as we can see here, this is going to add different paragraphs within our HTML code. So I'm just going to copy it over, and I'm going to put a number here. So this is test number 2 and test number 3. Whereas this is going to be a lot different than if we just had test, test 2, and test 3. So we're going to see what the difference is when we render this out. So I'm just saving it, and I'm going to open it up in the browser. And as we can see here, when the browser came in and it read that particular HTML code, it saw that this was a paragraph. So before this, we've got the P that opens the tag, the content, and then afterwards we have the P that closes the tag. And as we can see within the rendering of the HTML, it doesn't show anything that is within the tags. So the tags are what actually controls what the output looks like. It's not going to show up within the HTML or within your web content. So here we've got the second one and the third one. And then this is what we did at the bottom below the paragraph tags. And as we can see here, within our coding, we could see that it is separate, the lines are separate. But when HTML renders out, when your browser renders out this HTML code, it no longer makes it separate lines, it keeps it all within one. It only will take one space between all of the different spacing. So this is what HTML does. Instead of having the code all within the same area, you can lay it out nicely in order to be able to look at it and interpret it and understand it a lot better. Thanks a lot for watching. We've got some more great videos coming up, so please subscribe, as well as we look forward to any comments or questions you may have.